Welcome to the Manders Mindset podcast. Here you'll find both monologue and interviews of entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and a variety of other people, where your host Amanda Russo will discuss her own mindset and perspective and her guest mindset and perspective on the world around us. Manders and her guests will help explain to you how shifting your mindset will shift your life.
Welcome to Manders Mindset, where we explore the power of shifting your mindset to shift your life. I'm your host, Amanda Russo, and I am really excited to be here with today's guest. And I am here with Michael Leung, and I am so excited to delve down his journey because he has turned adversity into impact, rising from an immigrant childhood and personal struggles to become a purpose-driven founder. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So
Appreciate
who
it.
would you say Michael is at the core?
Is at the core? Can you explain that? Sorry, at the core. Can you explain that, sir?
Who would you say you are at the core?
Oh, who am I at the core? Sorry, I still, who am I at the core? Sorry, I just, I'm still like kind of like, so who am I at the core? Like, what am I in the, like, what, like the happiest point right now or something? Or like what, sorry,
who-
probably what this is, but
Like who you are at the core.
at the core. Yeah, can you just reword that? Like it's something else. It really, yeah. If you just say it in another sentence, yeah.
Like on at the inside of like your being. However you take that to whatever you take that question to mean.
Yeah. Who am I at the core? I guess for me, I feel like I don't know, like internal happiness. I guess it'll be something like that. Like what? Like if I feel like I'm at my happiest point, is that something that I can say? Because I've been through so much. Yeah. Like my core, I guess. Because I guess I've been through a lot of adversity my entire life, and I think that at this moment, after all the major changes I've done, this is probably the happiest point of my life at this point. I think I can. It's just the start of my journey right now. Like I've been through a lot. I think the core maybe was I guess it was a lost soul for a while. I guess I didn't have a core back then. It was just all in pieces everywhere. But now I think that my soul and my core is me forming together now into a more fulfilled core, I guess. I don't know if that answers it. I think I can answer anything else.
I get what you mean. I like that though. Your soul and your core are like intertwined now in the one core.
Yeah.
So that can you take us down memory lane a little bit? Tell us about upbringing, childhood,
Yeah.
however deep you want to take that.
Sure. Yes. So, immigrated to Canada when I was 6, with my parents. We're worried about the communism taking over, like China's going to take over. And we left, I think 20 years too early. My dad was, less hesitant to leave. My mom really pushed him to leave. So he was a policeman in Hong Kong. And, when we came, we were pretty poor. I guess, we lived in a smaller home. We had a really beat up car. So for some reason in Hong Kong, we were living pretty well. And then in Canada, we just went into poverty for some reason. I don't know why, but I couldn't speak English. So I remember it was tough in the beginning. I was looking different. I dressed different. And for some reason, I had friends like I grew up with a lot of Caucasians, like just different ethnicities. And they took me in. And I remember my best friends were, I barely had any Asian friends back then for some reason. It wasn't until high school, but yeah, they took me in. I didn't get bullied or anything. Now parents get worried about kids getting bullied. I don't remember getting bullied. I remember other people getting bullied, and I feel bad for them. But yeah, like I think coming to a new country and just going from hot to cold, I was like very different. In the snow. I never seen snow before. But I remember it was a very happy childhood until my mom passed away of cancer, and my mom was a really loving, nurturing mother, different than most Asian families, because most Asian families, they would be like, they don't hug, they don't kiss, they don't, they don't congratulate you, they don't pump you up and anything. So that's the traditional Chinese, right? So my mom was, just loving, caring. She, always kissed us. She walked me to school till grade 6. And, if she didn't come home, like she came home late, I cried, like I was like a little crybaby. I want mommy all the time, right? So when she was diagnosed with cancer, I was like grade 8, grade 9. And that took a lot, it took pretty much my entire soul out of me, I think, because, I feel kids nowadays need two parents to raise them. And they don't understand till they hear about how bad I turned until, when I lost my mom. So, like I was straight A student. And then when my mom passed, I just went, like, I was fighting, I was stealing, I got kicked out of school, like just like 0 to 100. Um, and my family kind of forced me into being Christian. Like I didn't want to be. And they kind of like, you have to, because we're praying, praying for your mom to get cured. And I remember going to church. I remember praying as a little boy and like praying, like, please, like save my mom, right? But she had late stage cancer. I didn't know that, it wasn't going to save her, but they painted a picture like she's going to be okay. So it was just me, my sister, my mom, and my dad. So I just watched her go through like the worst, pain, she's the loveliest lady. She was so like loving and caring. Like she wouldn't even buy herself clothes. Like she'll wear ripped clothing. Like, it's pretty sad, She'll buy stuff and she'll return it because she feels bad buying things. And then she'll patch my clothes with little hearts and like circles because, I come home from like playing soccer, I get holes everywhere. And she would buy new clothes and just patch them up, right? And then I remember she bought me like she bought me purple glasses. It was like women's glasses. I got picked on. I wore like, like suspenders. It was like really brutal. I was so dirty. But, so she was very loving. And, I just watched her like go through the periods. Like she lost her hair. She lost like half her weight. She became like skin and bones at the end, and she died close to Mother's Day. So it was really, every Mother's Day, I feel it, and even till now. So I have like PTSD from that. And, just growing up without my mom. And so when she died, I guess she had a talk with my dad saying like, take care of the kids, be patient with them, don't give up on them. He's like, yeah, of course. And he's like, and he has a different way of teaching kids. So when she passed away, he wasn't really, I felt like he wasn't taking over as her role. He just he was barely even taking care of his role because he depended on her seeing the house and, like taxes and everything. So he had to do everything now. And he was just lost, so I feel I can't blame him for everything, but I felt like as a 11-year-old, I had no one to turn to. My sister left to Toronto and, no one really like sat me down and talked to me like, yo, it's okay, da, da, da. So I was like less on my own. And when I started meeting friends, I started meeting these misfit friends that were kind of going through the same kind of stuff, like just bad kids. And I just ended up being a part of this little gang and stuff. And then we just like terrorized like the community. And it was like, it became to a point where I didn't even care what my dad said. So I ran away all the time. I swear, and we'll throw stuff at each other. And he, now I think about it, it's so bad, like no one should ever disrespect their parents like that. But I had no one to mentor me, and now my family gets it. Like my aunts used to like say, oh, he's so bad, like give up on him. He's like this dark sheep. Like, who is this guy? Because all my family, they're all like married their first husband, Catholic. They didn't swear. They did nothing. I'm covered with tattoos. You just can't see. So I'm the only one that has tattoos. I'm the only one that kicked out of school. I'm like, but I was also the only male in the family. So I'm supposed to actually take, the name. So I had a lot of pressure. All my cousins are girls. So, and my grandparents had so much hope for me, right? So when I started, fighting, getting charged, getting kicked out of school, all that stuff, they were disappointed, of course. But yeah, so it still lives me until today, but I feel like, losing your parents, either parent, I think, but my mom was the closest to me, right? So, and that's why like I became who I was. I felt like if she was alive, I wouldn't have taken that route. I would have just went to university and just been a good old boy, but that didn't happen. It's just crazy how it just went from 0 to 100, like, good boy, glasses, everything. And also dyed hair, earrings, swearing, getting kicked out of school. It was just very, yeah, I became this angry kid, just angry all the time, and I took it out on my family. And it's bad. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned your sister. Is she older or younger than you?
She's older by 4 years. Yeah.
And you mentioned she went to Toronto when,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
were you left like just you and your dad?
For a bit, and then my grandma came down, my grandpa, just to like help out and stuff. But they're also like very strict, so they just thought of like locking me in, putting bars in my windows. That would have been solving everything, but it didn't. Yeah, it just pushed me further.
And now you mentioned it, if your mom didn't pass when she did, like maybe you would have went to university and things would have been different. Now, did you go to college?
I went to it's called like community college, I guess. Yeah, yeah, for business. Yeah, but
Okay.
wasn't what they probably would wanted me to take, right? But I went to like hotel management because I worked as a bellboy, a dishwasher, and then I did like front desk and like bellman. So I was kind of like trying to get the management position, which I ended up not getting. So they kind of gave it to his best friend roommate that had no experience. That was another part that upset me because I went to school, I got a scholarship for it, and I worked my way to get it, and my manager gave it to his best friend. So I was like, that was my first time feeling discriminated, feeling that there's some kind of political, agenda here that, that maybe working hard is not really going to make it here. So, and there's a lot of Asians there. A lot of workers are Asians there. They worked there for 20, 30 years, but none of them have actually got to management. So it's like almost like they keep us like whatever. But so I quit. I quit and I just like whatever, and went back to being bad again. So that was like a different periods.
No, so did you do this right after high school?
Yeah, I went back because I was so bad at the one point that I had to get a job. I was under probation actually, so I had to get a job, and then they said it was a family hookup for the job, so I started working as a dishwasher, working my way, and then I stayed out of trouble, so it was good. And then so 4 years I was working there, and then when I was 22, I quit, and then I just went back to doing stupid things, I guess, for a little while. Yeah,
What made you quit and leave there?
because I felt like they like gave me like like a stab in the back, like I worked here hard as a dishwasher, like bus boy, like everything. Those are harsh jobs, 12-hour shifts, and then they told me go get your scholarship, go get hotel management, right? And I do, and you don't give me that job that I applied for, and you give it to someone that has no experience. That's crazy to me, right? So I was like, he gave it to his best friend, and then his best friend would boss us around. So I was like, no, it's not fun. So I was like, F this place, and then see you later.
That's fair. I can't say I blame you there. You leave there, and then what's next step from there?
Then from there, I started doing some, I guess I was just kind of partying for a while, actually. I was just drinking, partying, going to raves. I didn't really start working again until a couple of years later. I had some savings. I kind of burnt my savings. And I go clubbing and drinking, and then I needed money. So then my friend was doing real estate investments. I got involved with him, and we started like flipping houses. He was like, teach me how to do that. Did okay, did pretty good. We started buying some land, and we started doing some real estate overseas in Dubai and stuff too. But then afterwards, yeah, just working with friends wasn't a good idea too, because a lot of times you invest with your friends and it turns out into either bad investment or people just not honest, right? So then I would get into some projects that my friend kind of used me or lied to me about, so I end up like losing some more money. So then just nowadays I'm very careful when I pick my friends. I cut off most of my toxic friends now, and I'd rather be a hermit than have 100 friends. So I have like maybe 2-3 friends right now, and of course I'm 44 now, so I've been through enough like bad friendships, bad investments that I don't want to go back to that. So everything I do now is just myself, just like my company now, I just do it all myself from top to bottom. So it is more rewarding that way, right? And then I did some stock trading, waste management. I had some shares in that. that was that. And then I got to my new company. So
How long ago did you get into your new company?
2 years,
All right.
pretty fresh, but it's been on a upward momentum right now. It's doing pretty good. So,
And now, what was your motivation behind this?
so what our company is about is, so we have a healthy, affordable way of hearing. So it's a new assistive hearing device that it can complement your hearing aids. You can use your hearing aids, so you can, use this instead of hearing aids, and for a fraction of the cost. So, just some market analysis. People out there really want another option other than hearing aids because it's $78,000, right? So I wanted to cater to the low income families, people that can't afford hearing aids. So this is the perfect option for them. I've done thousands of tests. I've sold hundreds of these headphones. They look like headphones. So it looks like this. Looks like a bone conduction headphone, right? But we added an amplification into it that now aids hearing. So it becomes like a hearing aid. So people actually prefer this because you wear it on the outside, but not the inside. So there's nothing in your ear. So it's like a trendy way of hearing. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And I got into this because I'm actually partially blind. So I have a disability and I have two products, and one actually helps people that are blind and one helps people that are deaf. So yeah, I have something called a retinitis pigmentosa. So I've lost my peripheral and my night vision on one side. I only have tunnel vision, which I really had a lot of trouble with for the last 5 years. My ex had to like hold my hand, guide me everywhere, or I go missing. Sometimes I'll go to dinner and the place is dark and I don't come back from the washroom, which is kind of crazy. They're like, "Where do you go?" And I'm feeling my way in the walls. Like, and I'll just get lost, and I'll start walking into walls and I get, I'm just like, oh my God. And then, so my night vision is like shot out of one side. It's like completely gone almost. It's kind of scary. And then, and I have like very like maybe like this much like sight in the front, and it's kind of slowly eating away at that too eventually. So they're saying that one day I might have no central in one side. So it's kind of scary. So I had to kind of get my butt in first gear and really think of something that I can do to, help other people too. And just happened to, come with this idea with my family, right? They own factories in Asia. So very lucky. My first product is actually been so many people are liking it and impressed by it. So yeah, I work with senior homes all over the city. I got grants coming in. I do Dragon's Den next year, auditioning for Dragon's Den. I did a couple of TV shows in the States that's supposed to be airing and streaming next year too. So local magazines are featuring me, and probably done 20 podcasts by now. So it's nice to just get out there, just spread the word and get exposure. And yeah, people are radiating towards this.
Wow. And now you mentioned there's a product for people who are blind. And what is
Yeah.
that?
So it's the same thing, except so my first product was like it was my very first product. It was like the base version of this one. So it has a background sound. So it picks up background sounds. You can hear footsteps, you can hear like, like someone's you hear the toilet flush, you can hear like sounds from the distance, right? So that didn't work very well for all people with hearing loss because they're focused in front of them. So that all the background sounds is very confusing for them. Too much, right? So then my second one, we put a noise reduction chip that minimized background sound. So now the second one is really good for the hearing loss community, right? And there's like a dual volume control. Just a lot more gadgets I put into the new one, make it more senior friendly too, like a couple buttons, right? But because the first one, I was like, okay, what am I going to do with the first product that I'm just keep promoting the second one? So I realized that people that are blind need something that can help enhance their second, the most important sense, which is their hearing. So people that are severely blind, I mean, I mean people that you have to have a seeing eye dog or even a cane or something, like almost like blind. When they wear this, they actually welcome the sounds because to them, the extra steps, the distance, the door closing, it helps them know what's around them, navigate, alert, awareness. So this is a tool for them to just be able to navigate easier and just be a more alert, right? It's not going to help them see better, but it just makes that extra sense enhanced, right? So some people have found it useful. So that's the other market.
That makes a lot of sense. The extra sense more heightened.
Yeah. So they won't be annoyed at that, right? So it's like Daredevil, with the Daredevil's line, and he needs his hearing to be superhuman. So that's kind of that idea. But I have lots of different nonprofits all testing it now, try to like just to see if it works the way I say it. So so far it's been good. Yeah.
And now you mentioned the second version of it. So you've already had iterations of it.
Yeah, I just launched my second one about 3 weeks ago, and I've sold more of that in 3 weeks than 1 year of my first one. Like yeah, a year's worth. So people are just buying them like even today, like I sold like five. So it's just doing like events every couple of days. I do an event. So the old one it'd be like I'll sell one or two, here and there. So it was like it was not impressing people as much as this one because this one just the background sounds is obviously very important for someone that's hearing loss. And I added more enhancement for it. It was actually the amplification has like 6 or 7 different levels. So you can actually change the setting to higher and higher and higher. Where my other one only got one setting. So this one has low to medium to high. So you can control it on both sides of the ear, right? Because some people have one sided deafness, right? And there's the environmental mode, indoor, outdoor, vocal, changes the environment you're in. And then, with water resistant, 1 hour charge, 8 to 10 hour usage. So people are starting to get used to this so they can use this on the residents and not risk losing their expensive hearing aids. Because when they start using it more and more, they'll drop and fall out, it'll break, another $8,000 they're going to spend. So, some people can't qualify for hearing aids, so they have nothing to use, right? So this is where this comes in, right? So, and no one has come up with anything so far. So I'm the only one doing it. I have exclusive rights for it. We patented, we trademarked it. So, so far so good.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, I'm curious. You mentioned you've made changes to it, like there's different settings now and all these different things. And now where did you get feedback from people, or was this just different ideas that you had on how to change it?
It was mostly working with seniors over a 2 year time period, one-on-one or big groups that I was like getting ideas from them, right? You can hear them say, oh, I don't like background sounds. Oh, this is not easy enough to operate. So then now I'm like, okay, let's make it even easier, right? So before it was like holding buttons and clicking. Now it's just one switch and they just amplifies everything, right? So easier the better for them. And this open ear design is what really makes it different than hearing aids because it sits on the outside on your cheekbone and you're using bone conduction, right? So bone conduction is sending sound vibrations into your inner ear, right? So I work with people all, even with conductive hearing loss, with like blown out their eardrum, or they listen to loud music and it caused damage. All those people work, right? Now they can hear so much better with this. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's accidents or like a sickness or they're born with it. I've tested all types of people, and then 85% of them work perfect. 15% didn't work. And to me, it's like I can't impress everybody, but as long as the product works for most people, it's still considered like a success, right? Because there are some people with really severe hearing loss or sight loss, and you just can't do anything about for them, right?
And I really like that you took and got feedback from actual seniors that were like using it to see what worked for them, what didn't work for them. Like, something that might seem super simple to us, like, you know what I mean? Like not like an elderly person using this, but that simple like switch, it made a difference to them.
Oh, for sure. Just you kind of want them to give you feedback because they're gonna be the market target, right? So, and it makes sense too, right? Everything's like, that's true. Like you gotta, take the pride down and just know that's gonna be beneficial for you in the long run. Right?
I like how you said, take the pride down. It makes sense. Some people might struggle with that because they might have not liked something, for example, but it's things that you could not edit, but like revise and change about it, but some people might not have asked because they don't want to hear the criticisms.
Oh, for sure. And I know there's some people that love their product so much that no one can tell them anything's different. Right? They're like, no, they're wrong. They're fucking. It's like, but if enough people say it, means it's probably it's right. So, but some people are just obsessed with their own ideas. They don't want to move, but they don't want to evolve. So evolving is important. Every couple of years we'll have a new product. So that's how it is, right? So Apple does that, right? So
No, it's true. Evolving is important. Is there anything that helped you like put your pride aside and be able to ask for feedback?
I think my ex-girlfriend really instilled that in me because I was pretty pig-headed even in our relationship. So now that we're not together anymore, but no, I feel like it's different. with relationships, like I'm still a little pig-headed, but a lot of times they are right. The girlfriends, we're just insensitive and unreasonable. After we blow a gasket, they're like, "Ah, see, you're right. I'm sorry." She's probably gonna listen to this after, but I always give her props. Like, we dated 12 years, but 12 years, we traveled like 36 countries the last 10 years because I was going blind and I want to see the world before I go blind, so, but love, things happen. The love started fading, but we were still best friends. We actually still talk. She moved to Vancouver, and, you know, it's weird because most people are like, how do you do that? Because we can't be friends with our ex-girlfriends. It doesn't work that way, right? But we still support each other. She supports what I do. I support what she does, you know? So yeah, if people that are good influence in your life, you keep them around no matter what, right? So
I get that. That's good though that she was able to help you, have the courage to seek feedback to like improve, whether it's a product or our lives. I think feedback, not just from anybody, but like in general, can help. It can help us evolve and get to the next level of whatever.
yeah, exactly. Like she helped me with more than that. I think she helped me with, yeah, just even like being smarter at how to spend, like invest money. Cause I was very just into just dumping money into like different places and I don't research and like just losing my investments everywhere because, it sounded good from what they say, but now I know it's all, it's all BS. So obviously like now it's like everything comes through me. It fails with me or it goes success with me. So at least I know I'm not taking shortcuts anymore. And through hard work, it's going really well. So yeah.
Wow. No, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm curious. I ask most guests this, and a lot of people have had multiples, but I'm curious what you would consider the biggest aha moment you've had in your life.
Mishandlement.
The biggest aha moment.
Oh, Baha. Ha moment.
Yeah, like your biggest aha moment.
Ha moment. Like laughing moment. Like ha ha or
Aha.
aha aha. Oh aha. Like aha. Like that.
Yeah.
Like light bulb. Okay.
Yeah. Like a
Um.
light bulb.
Sorry. Yeah. The biggest aha moment, I think it would be probably my creation of this project because that is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life, even till now. Just helping seniors and helping people with disabilities, being able to hear and like just and not spend $8,000, affordable. I'm sorry, affordable, accessible, versatile, comfortable uh product because it honestly I feel like the price people charge is a robbery because you never charge people $8,000 for something that you want to hear. Hearing is such an essential thing. So everyone's saying like, why do I have to pay $8,000? This is ridiculous. Yours is so affordable. And I was like, yeah, but I think it's the society that keeps telling them that this is the only thing out there that they have to. So now they're like, oh wow, like please keep promoting this because this is amazing. And I've seen seniors like cry and stuff. Like they hug me and I've seen people like could hear for 8 years and suddenly hear. So to me, that's something like, every day I'm just like happy and it's gratifying, it's rewarding. So I don't know if that's a hot thing, but
Mm,
yeah, the happiest thing. Yeah, it's the happiest thing I've ever done. So
I love that. Now, I'm curious. You said you created this about 2 years ago. Now, approximately 5 years ago, did you ever see yourself creating something, maybe not even having this exact idea, but something similar?
no, no. Well, I was a pretty lazy guy. At 6. Like I guess I have high ADHD, and when you have ADHD, you either become too comfortable with yourself and you just lay back and you kind of like, it's good enough, right? But when you have an idea of something you're really invested in, you just 100% like almost obsessed with it. So that's why I've become obsessed with this. And I can go up and talk for like 2 hours just about this and just be so energetic and passionate about it. But I don't read books. I never read a book in my life. Like I can't read books, but I visually learn very well. And so stuff like weird stuff like singing. Like I sing like I memorize 1,000 songs. It's just weird. Like I just sing. I can learn a song and then I can hear it twice and learn the whole song. It's crazy. Or I watch sports trivia and I'm excited about that. and then my work. And that's pretty much it. So everything else, if someone tells me about it, it just blows through my other ear. And I just don't even like, care about it. Like movies. Yeah, I love it. Like, songs and stuff. But like, if it's something like totally not exciting for me, it's just, I don't even care, So I was like that back then. So I had nothing going on. I was kind of like, just like, then. So it was actually what our breakup that really caused me to really turn things up. So I used the breakup to change my life. I went sober. I went, because I didn't want to be hungover doing these podcasts and like, hungover at my events, and I have an image too, and I care about what I do and I didn't want to destroy it. So then I felt like alcohol was something I don't need in my life. I removed all my friends that kept being bad influence on me to drink every weekend. So I cut them all off, and they're like, "Hey man, why are you cutting us off? And we heard you doing these podcasts saying you're removing toxic friends." I was like, "Yep, that's you got." But like, for me, is like, what's the point in like, I'm 44. Why am I drinking every weekend? Why am I just like destroying my health? So now I got myself to the gym, started eating healthier. I don't eat chips anymore. I don't eat junk food as much anymore. Feel much better, It's the only thing is I have insomnia because of my OCD that I'm so, obsessed with my company and I do so much with it. I'm thinking about it night and day. So I'm like always waking up with ideas. I'm always just thinking about what the next thing to do, right? So I'm trying to help control my mental health through better sleep. That's the only negative thing in my life right now, I guess. But yeah, it was the hard breakup because I think it was like the first like a month or something. I was drinking heavily. I actually shut myself from the world. No one could get a hold of me until like near the end when I just was so depressed I had to reach out to somebody. They're like, "Where have you been?" And I was like, that told them everything. They didn't know we broke up. We kept a secret from people because we felt that a lot of my friends weren't really supportive, and some of them even actually were like hoping we break up, which is kind of crazy because we're that last couple that's still standing, and a lot of our friends like broken up. A lot of people were actually envious that we still had such a strong relationship and traveling and stuff, and we didn't have kids and everything. So we kept it from everybody, but it wasn't like she moved out, and that's when it really hit me. Places like empty, the Christmas trees out there. So when Christmas hit, I was just like crying. Every TV show there was like music. I'd be like crying, and I wouldn't work, and I just like shut everybody out. It was pretty bad. It actually felt like I was like rock bottom. And it's yeah, it was in the middle of like, I guess this career, because we broke up last year, like around November. So it's like, it's only been like around 10, 11 months, I just started going back out dating and stuff. It's so different. It's so scary. But yeah, I've been kind of keeping myself like sheltered. I haven't gone out for a long time because I can't see at night. She's not there to guide me, hold my hand anymore. So I just stay home, I don't have a social life really. So kind of like look back and think like, she really did help me a lot through a lot of things and open my eyes a lot. But, life goes on, right? She's doing well too. I've been helping her. She's like living on her own first time. It's very scary, for her because we were so dependent on each other. So the moment we had to be on our own, I had to start learning how to be without her. She used to help me a lot with my company too. She built my website for me, did a lot of my visual stuff. So then I actually kind of had to start coming out of my comfort zone and being creative myself and learned that I could be creative. So it was like kind of like almost like I didn't do it because I relied on her too much. So when you start doing a thing on your own, you realize there's a lot of things that are hit, right? So yeah.
I gotcha. It almost forced you to do some of the stuff on your own.
Yeah, like things I never knew I could do. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
That's a it showed you that you could do things that you didn't know you could.
It's stuff that even she thought I couldn't even do. Like she thought that she's the creative one, and I actually showed her some of the stuff I did recently. She's like, "Wow, that's actually pretty good." And I was like, "Wow, thank you," because she doesn't compliment me, but because I think I just thought I was just more focused onto sales and marketing and doing what I was good at, like presenting. And I feel like I didn't think that what she was doing was, like I didn't appreciate it as much back then, but now I appreciate it because it's the backbone of like what I do now, right? Having like nice brochures and nice business cards and nice website. So now I just add on to it, right? I just kind of like, you know, um, but yeah, like, girls do have, like I guess a very, I guess a more imagined brain than most men, I guess. But I mean, some guys are imaginary, but maybe it's just me. But no, I think I took a lot of risks after. That's why I got myself out there and applied for Dragon's Den or applied for like these TV shows and started doing podcasting. Because I think if we were together, I would never done it. I would never have even thought of doing it, or maybe I would have thought I would have done it, but she wouldn't have agreed to it. She's less risk taking. So if I told her, she might be like, "Don't do it. Don't waste your time. Maybe a scam or something," or she'll be like, "That's don't waste your time. Just like focus on something else, right?" So I just started throwing myself in different places, and they're all kind of working out now. So she's like, "Wow, like that's crazy." Like like just like grants and like 50 senior homes, like just like throwing myself out there, just like putting my face out there, just working with people, and people are taking notice, right? Like I used to be the one reaching out to people, that people are reaching out to me, which is nice. There are people that actually turned me down before. Now they're wanting to come back. So it's like very fulfilling. They didn't believe in me when I first came. So it's really refreshing to know.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. That's great how it came like full circle almost.
Yeah. Yes. Very full circle.
That's amazing. Now, I'm curious. You mentioned after the breakup for about that, like a first month, you were heavily drinking and you weren't really doing anything. How did that switch? How did you
Yes.
get out of that, make that change?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy because like I'll have times where I become super like addictive to something, but I can cut it like cold turkey. So it's like some people take a while to like. I've been drinking since I was 14, like just like not like consecutively, but like since I was like young, right? But and I was like buying alcohol every day after work and just like just walking back home feeling depressed and like what am I doing? And then drink it and then drink till like very late night and then wake up next day, go buy some more again. It was just messy. And this is during the middle of like my company. And I could have like killed my company, but like I think it wasn't until I think I was like almost all cried out, because like, you cry so much, like you just gotta look at yourself, you're like, dang, like if I keep doing this, I might die in here. So some of my friends are like contacting me. I finally turned my phone on and just started talking to people. And I told them, and my ex was actually the one that told me, she was concerned. She's like, please stop drinking and stop. Like, you need to talk to someone, right? And like, just get some help. Like, talk to someone. I don't want you by yourself and just self-medicating yourself. So I listened to her. I started talking to one friend, two friends, three friends, four, and then they're all like, bro, like you have purpose, you have something you can change the world. Why are you killing it? And you think she'll take you back if you do this? It's not gonna, you're just making it worse. So they're just telling me like, you got to get the grip of yourself. And like, they didn't tell me to stop drinking. That was my own personal thing, right? I just decided to not drink. And I have a case of beer in my fridge from 10 months ago that's sitting in the fridge unopened into the box. I look at that as a reminder every day. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. Because I have to not like something to quit. So I hate smoking. I don't smoke, right? I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't gamble. So those are nice traits, right? But for a while I was like partying and doing lots of like, addiction problems. But the alcohol is worse when I'm going through a breakup. So I just decided to cut it cold turkey. It's just like, I'm like, I don't think I really need it. And when I started drinking, like I just felt like, even when I was drinking, I felt like I hated myself. I hated the taste, but I just kept drinking anyways. And I was like, this is gross. And I just kept drinking, but I just kept thinking, just wrote a list down how much I hate alcohol. I just wrote a list. I keep thinking how much it's gross. It wastes my money, wastes my brain cells. It makes me hungover, puking all the time. So I was like, I don't think I need that. Nothing positive out of it, right? So, and I've seen friends that went sober and their life has just changed, right? So I'm like, I think that's what I should do. And then I just started going to the gym, got a trainer, which happens to be my best friend in grade 7, and we just reconnected. So he's my new best friend now, and he's a great guy. And because nowadays I don't talk to too many people anymore, and I just only have just like a small group, right? And I'm not out to make any more friends. I'm happy, the way it is, and yeah, and then just met a new girl too. So it's kind of is actually things are kind of going well. But yeah, just cut cold turkey is just easy for me. I don't know why. I don't want to drink anymore. I don't even want to touch it. I don't want to sip.
But you started involving yourself with some friends, like to get out of this
Yeah,
funk. I don't know
yeah,
how another this,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
how,
They had to drill me into like telling me why my life's worth, you know, moving forward even without her. So they're like, yeah, she's a great influence in you, but that's not the end of your chapter. You gotta keep going. They're right. I think I was just like bummed out, right? 12 years is a long time, right?
no.
So and I know she's going through the same struggle, like living in a new city, without me helping her as much, So we're going through the same stuff, right? I think she went on a little bender for a little while too. So, but now I feel like the best I've been, except minus the sleeping.
Gotcha. That's great though.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's good that you had people that like in your life that were supportive and were able to remind you you have a purpose. You're here for a reason, you know?
Yeah, like my family, like even like I told like my family, like my dad, we don't, I don't know. We still haven't really fully like fixed our old, beef with each other, I guess. He's still like kind of, he's still not really encouraging. Like even if I told him all the success now, he'd be like, "Oh, okay." And I said he wouldn't be like pat me on the back, even though it's like something so great, But I think I just felt I grew up, I didn't really have strong parenting and stuff, So that's why I think I don't have kids, because like that always scared me. My ex, because she kind of had a little bit of a issue with her family and stuff. So we both kind of thought if we brought in a kid in this generation with all the negative stuff out there, plus we didn't have a good upbringing with our parents, that we will want to, bring in a kid like that. We thought we were not ready. Some people thought we're selfish for not having kids and that we travel too much. I was like, how's that selfish? It's selfish about bringing in a kid and can't take care of them properly and drink around them like, some of them do, right? That's even worse, I think. So I think it's a preference, right? Not everyone have to have kids.
I get that. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Have you heard of a man named Jay Shetty?
No.
So he's got a podcast called On Purpose. He's an author, motivational speaker. No big deal that you haven't heard of him, but he ends his podcast with 2 segments, and I've stolen or borrowed those 2 segments. So these are not my questions. But the first segment is the many side to us, and there's 5 questions, and they need to be answered in 1 word each. What is 1 word someone who was meeting you for the first time would use to describe you as?
A lot of enthusiasm.
What is 1 word someone who knows you extremely well would use to describe you as?
Helpful.
What is 1 word you'd use to describe yourself?
Giving.
What is 1 word that if someone didn't like you or agree with your mindset would use to describe you as?
Stubborn. Sounds a quick one. Stubborn.
What is 1 word you're trying to embody right now?
Legacy.
Second segment is the final 5, and these can be answered in a sentence. What is the best advice you've heard or received?
Best advice. Probably from my friends recently, I guess. Gotta keep moving. Or don't take shortcuts. That's another one. Don't take shortcuts. Yeah.
Why is that the best?
Because I took shortcuts my entire life. Until now, I finally got my full happiness. I think I was depressed my entire life, really. So I just was never really fully happy. This is probably the most full happiness I've had so far.
What is the worst advice you've heard or received?
Hey, bro, invest in this.
What is something that you used to value that you no longer value?
My faith. I used to, I guess. Very short period of time, I was, because I wanted my mom to miraculously get cured. But I'm not. I guess I'm atheist, but I'm still Catholic. But I have a cross. I have Jesus tattooed, but I don't go to church. I don't talk about religious stuff. No, I don't really believe in. I believe there's a God, but I just don't talk. I just don't think I need to say like I do it for God, this and that. Like I just be like I do it for me. I do it for my mom or something, right? It's like some people are just so into doing it for a purpose that's higher up, and I don't. That's why I don't believe it anymore. I might have before, but yeah, I think my faith has just kind of went from it just went to like my dad's always like tell me go to church and like he's like go you need to get repented or you're gonna go to hell and I'm like oh come on and I'm like yeah so so I think I'm more an atheist now I guess but yeah big change.
If you could describe what you would want your legacy to be as if someone was reading it, what would you want it to say?
I guess just fighting light at the tunnel through adversity, all types of adversity. Yes, yeah. Yeah.
If you could create one law in the world that everyone had to follow, what would it be? And I want to know why.
Probably love each other for what no racism. I think just love everybody like they're all one color. Something we're all the same, right? Just too much hate. Yeah, it's not right. I think we're all everyone. I have friends of all colors, shapes, and sizes. There's no reason why some people should hate on someone that's different, right? So yeah, that should definitely be embedded in our head.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
And I do just like to give it back to the guests, like no pressure, but any final words of wisdom, anything else you want to share with the listeners?
Think maybe for like young kids out there, I guess get to find a mentor. If they don't have a family or somebody, it's good to have like an older person to guide you because I didn't have that, and I ended up finding other people like me, and that's the recipe for disaster. What I found was a lot of my friends that were really bad, teens or even their 20s and 30s, they're just super bad. Like what I found that when they had kids, they took the time to actually be their best friend and just like do everything with them, and their kids turned out super good. So, and I have friends that are drinkers. They just drink around the kids. And they just leave the kids to a nanny. The kids are terrible. Just let them watch whatever. So when you actually put the time to be the kid's best friend, I think that's what I wish I had. And I never got it, but I've seen people that I never thought would be good parents became amazing parents and changed their life through their kids. Right? The kids make them so happy. And I'm like, this guy like really used to beat people up at the bar and like, smash beer bottles on people. Like and also he's like so different. And I'm like, wow. And he lives through his kids, right? And they do MMA together, they basketball, they just do everything, right? So be your kid's best friend or find a mentor.
Wow, I love that piece of advice. Well, thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Manders Mindset. In case no one told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you. And you got this. As always, if you enjoyed the show, I would really appreciate it if you would leave me a 5-star rating, leave a review, and share it with anyone you think would benefit from this. And don't forget, you are only one mindset shift away from shifting your life. Thanks, guys. Until next time.